What's good, people? We got a Blackwing deck profile for Edison format. I made first place in a 12-man local at Versus Games in Oviedo, Florida, and I piloted pure Blackwings. I don't normally play this deck, but I wanted to win, so we played Blackwings. Just go ahead and get into the deck profile here. We've got triple Sirocco. Pretty much the standard Blackwings. Triple Shura, triple Bora, one Gale, triple Kalute, triple Blizzy, one Vayu, one main deck Crow. Honestly, I don't think main deck Crow came up too much for me. It came up in a zombie matchup, but I think that was actually in game 2 anyways, which I would have cited. So honestly, I could probably cut the one main deck DD Crow. Also, of course, playing Dad. So that's the main lineup. Honestly, I think I would actually cut DD Crow out of the main and maybe see if I can make room in the side for 2 DD Crow. I did actually end up playing 41 cards, and it wasn't because I added Crow. The one spicy card I added was one Morphing Jar. This actually came up, I think, 3 times in my game 1 against my zombie matchup. It was a complete blowout. He had 4 cards in hand, and all I had was Vayu in hand, so I flipped Morphing Jar on my turn and proceeded to summon Dad, Stardust, and I don't know, it was just a crazy hand. So that's the monster lineup. Going into the spells, got Allure, Black Whirlwind, gotta play 2 because you only get 2. Double Book of Moon, it's another card where I kind of felt like 1 was probably enough. There were a couple times where I saw 2 of them and I'm just like, I don't know, maybe would have rather seen more impactful traps. And then I'm playing the Trinity. At least this is what I call the Trinity in Edison format. It's a heavy MST Brain. And then onto the trap lineup. Triple Icarus. Card's just too crazy to not play at 3. Triple D Prison. Really like playing 3 D Prison. I feel like it really helped a lot against a lot of matchups, especially in the Blackwing mirror. Played 2 mirror matches. Double Bottomless. Another card that it's so good, but sometimes it's just dead, especially against certain matchups. It just don't summon big enough monsters. Be a little frustrating. But playing 1 Dust Tornado, 1 Starlight Road, 1 main deck Royal Oppression, and then Trap Dust Shoot plus Solemn Judgment. So I think the only changes I'm really going to make is probably just cut the DD Crow or the Morphing Jar. I don't know. I liked the Morphing Jar, but there was one time where it lost me the game, and there was another time where we kind of just broke even on it, so it wasn't anything too crazy. But overall, the deck performed really well. You just open Black Whirlwind and you win. So that's the main strategy here. Moving on to the extra, level 8s. We've got Dark End, Colossal Stardust. Just 1 level 7 being Black Rose. The level 6s, I saved the Blackwing ones for last, but YuGiOh, Brio, 2 level 5s, Catastor, and Android. And my locals doesn't care if we play OCG cards, so you saw the Royal Oppression was OCG. And then for the Blackwing Synchros, running 2 Armed Wing, 2 Armor Master, 1 Silverwind, and then Mistworm plus Chimera Tech. There was one time where having a 3rd Armed Wing would have won me the game. I still won the game anyways, but it would have won me the game 3 turns earlier. So I'm kind of debating on if I want to fit in the 3rd Armed Wing. And then just go over the side. I cited 2 Cybers. I cited this in a lot because a lot of people at my locals like to play Consecrated Light. So this is a really good card for that. We got Dinah. Dinah was super good. There was a couple matchups, I think against Diva Hero and Zombies, where I just summoned this card with Deep Prisons and Book of Moons and just protected him, and I just kept attacking directly with him, and they couldn't do anything about it. Against the Blackwing mirror, I loved citing in Snowman. I was going to bring Legendary Jujutsu Master. I decided literally the last minute, right before I left the house, I was like, wait, if I summon Jujutsu Master and they summon Sirocco and they have Black Whirlwind and I don't have an answer to it, I'm just gonna stack that back to the top of the deck. Then they're gonna get to summon them again next turn if I have a monster, and Black Whirlwind search again, or they'll actually just go ahead and search Sure off the first one. So I was like, I don't like that. I was like, I'd rather just play Snowman, so they attack into it, just go ahead and get rid of their monster. And if Bora attacks into it, they're going to have to Kalute to get over it, but they're going to get destroyed anyway, so it's like kind of shitty for them. One DD Crow, since we have one in the main, side the second one. I might actually side out the Mind Control for the other DD Crow, so I don't have to main deck one DD Crow, but I actually never sided this card in today. It just never came up, but I also didn't really play against any flip deck, so probably would have against, like, you know, any YuGiOh hamster deck or cat deck or anything like that. The second Dust, great for the mirror match, great for any like heavy trap deck. Double deck dev, card's crazy. I actually only sided it in one matchup, and it didn't matter. I drew it and it was just like too late. And then we've got double light mirror and double skill drain, which didn't come up, but I was thinking for actually I don't really know what matchups I'd really want skill drain for. Maybe against Diva Hero. I don't know. I might not continue with the skill drain. I'm trying to think of what decks. I guess like against Lightsworn, but you already have Light Mirror. Oh, actually no, now I remember. I wanted skill drain over Mask over Strict for Frogs. I wanted to side this for Frogs because this way you can like shut off their Monarchs and their Junk Synchrons without having to, and their the one frog that attacks directly, the Unifrog. Because I didn't want to side in a card that doesn't let me tribute when I was probably going to also be siding in deck dev and I have triple Icarus. So I was like, yeah, I like to tribute in this deck, so I don't really want to do that. But my matchups were round 1 was against Diva Hero. I won 2-0. Round 2 was against, it was a Blackwing mirror. Funny enough, that one was 2-0. I opened Dad both games and proceeded to sack. But my opponent was playing kind of like a unique build. They were playing with that one trap card, like Ultimate Offering. So he like did a turn where he like summoned like a bunch of Blackwing monsters with Whirlwind and still somehow managed to win that game. I don't know how. I guess Dad sacking won me that game, but still crazy game. And then round 3 was against Dragon, the Disaster Dragons, the Trap Dragon deck. And I made a really bad misplay game 2 where I lost game 2, and then I just lost game 3. They just outplayed me. And then round 4 was against Zombies. That one I won 2-1. Heavily misplayed in game 2 that cost me the game. Mind Control Caius attack for game. Because they had a monster in field, so they Caius like my back row or something, and they mind controlled my monster and attacked for direct. Because I had like a Dyna on field. And then it was a 12-man tournament, so that got me into top 4. And then my semifinals match was against another Blackwing player. This one was on Pure, and I 2-0'd him. I opened Dad both games again. So I played against Blackwings twice and opened Dad all 4 games. And then finals was against the Dragon Disaster Dragon deck again, and I managed to pull out a victory 2-1 in a super close, grindy game. Kalute for game, and it was a great time. So thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. I'll probably post the deck profile for the Dueling book link in the description. But I'll catch you guys later. See ya.